7 seconds off first place in his category at the two-day Mutual of Enumclaw stage race this last weekend. Siemens was competing in the 4s and 5s category, which is made up of racers who've been competing for only a few years. He was the top placer among our local Pettit Oil cycling team. Saturday's races featured a 10-kilometer individual time trial in the morning, an afternoon criterium, which was essentially a race in the streets of downtown Enumclaw. It's a timed race, so the time you finish will be added on to your time on the overall leaderboard. Siemens had an up-and-down sort of day to begin the weekend. After the time trial, he was sitting at 5th place and was in a great position near the front in the criterium, which lasted about 30 minutes. But on the final lap, unfortunately, reports are that the second-place racer cut him off on one of the corners, and Siemens flipped over his bike. He suffered some bumps and bruises and finished okay. The crash was protested and Siemens ended up not losing any time. But because race leader Matt Seeley received a 15-second time bonus for crossing the line first, Siemens was now down by over 30 seconds. In the rough 40-mile road race on Sunday, Jordan won convincingly, but Seeley was close by to take the second-place time bonus, and Siemens had to settle for third. That was still good. He was just 3 seconds out of second place. Also racing in the category 4s and 5s was Jordan's brother Colby, who moved his way up from 48th place after the time trial to 12th place overall. He did a great job finishing with the main pack in the criterium and placing 8th in the road race. And a relative newcomer to the racing circuit, Craig Wilcox, ended the weekend in 47th place. In the fiercely competitive Masters A division, Paul Langlois moved himself up from 23rd place after the time trial. He rode an impressive criterium, finishing in 9th place. He had to ride for 40 minutes. Thanks to the fine folks of Enumclaw, I was able to catch some of the action from the dinner table, as you see here, and throw meatballs at the racers. And after Sunday's 54-mile road race, Langlois ended up riding to 17th place on the overall standing. Racing in the Masters B category, Bill Rowland started out Saturday with a nice 2nd place in the time trial. He dropped to 18th after the criterium and hung in there over the difficult road race and wound up holding on to 18th place. And me, well, I rode as hard as I could, all right. I started out in 32nd place out of 75 racers in the Category 3 competition. Near the end of the 45-minute criterium, I almost ran into another racer that landed into the curb. I finished the race, by the way. And on Sunday, we raced for 69 miles. It was quite brutal. I ended up dropping to 40th place on the overall standings, and yes, we do this for fun. Some of the Pettit Oil cycling team will be traveling to Lewiston this weekend for the prestigious Twin Rivers Cycling Classic, and some of our younger teammates will be competing in an even more prestigious race, the Best of the West stage race in Medford, Oregon. That race gathers some of the best under 18 racers in the nation. I'm Dave Summers for NCN Sports.